Here are the tests on my 1991 Universal-Rundle Saturn. I dried out the bowl because you can't really see what the trapway opening looks like when there's water in it, but it is noticeably different than the red one that Multi-State Toilets and Restroom Tours has. It still does have a very small trapway opening, but I'm thinking the performance will be better. Also, there was no water line anywhere in this toilet, but it's using a standard flapper and a flush valve that was the same size as the original, so I'm just going to do the tests with that. But anyway, let's set this back to the appropriate level and give it a flush. The flush is actually not bad. It certainly could use a little bit more water, but it's definitely better than the red one. For the first test, let's see if it can take a washcloth. This will be the test that determines whether it will die by the hammer or whether it will die by the bowling ball. Did awesome. Just to be sure, let's try it again. I think they updated the design since 1989, so it should do pretty well. Did awesome again. The flush was a little bit weaker than it was when it was flushing just water, so I don't know if it did perfectly, but it certainly did great. Now let's see if it can take a grocery bag. I really don't know what to expect from this, but I hope it passes. Hesitated just a tiny bit at the end, but it took it through with minimal problems. Let's just try it again to see if it does any better or worse. I don't know, I think it did about the same. Now let's try the washcloth and the grocery bag together. Just because the trapway opening isn't very big, I don't think it'll get past. That's pretty much the result I expected, and I don't think any number of flushes will make that go through. And it didn't siphon either. Maybe I'll just give it another flush and see if it can take them like that. I think if it tries to take them at once, it will certainly fail, but if it takes them separately, I think it'll pass. One thing about this toilet is that it has really bad siphon power. I wouldn't consider that a pass by any stretch. Now let's try the dish towel. Honestly, it could go either way. Did pretty well. Let's try it again just to be sure. I think the performance is pretty predictable on this. Like, it won't do really well and then really bad. So I think it'll do about the same as it did on the last test. Yeah, that was pretty much exactly the same as it did before. Now let's see how it flushes with a clogged siphon jet. Obviously, the rinse and the water from the rim jets will be a lot stronger, but the question is whether or not it will siphon. Pretty nice. Now let's see how it does with dirt. Despite the color of this toilet being so dark, I can actually see the dirt. So I think I'll be able to see how well the bowl rinse is, or I mean, how good it is, even though the toilet is black. There is a little bit of sediment in the trapway opening there, so could definitely use a longer flush. Then there's this spot right here that it missed, similar to on the 50s Cadets. Overall, I'd say the bowl rinse is pretty good, but it could use a little bit of improvement in some places. So this side looks great. The only real issues I see are this thing in the front and this right here. And I think you might even be able to see my face a little bit. But yeah, this toilet is definitely not as bad as I thought it would be. It's actually pretty good. So I think that when it is time for it to go, I will dissect it with the hammer and not completely obliterate it with a bowling ball. But that is about all for these tests. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe and turn on notifications. It helps my channel a lot and I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and see you guys in the next video.